Welcome to New Hope. Today we are starting a new series for 3, maybe 4 weeks on the topic of photography. What does God's good gift of the camera, the lens, the photographer's heart and eye bring to how we can understand knowing God and seeing God more in our lives? So we're going to explore that from a whole bunch of different angles over the next couple of weeks at New Hope. So you're welcome to join us for that. The homework for this week was this. Posted it on my blog. Okay, here's the homework for this Sunday's sermon on photography. Take a photo that looks like this photo. Try to make it look as much the same as possible. That's it. It only took me 10 seconds to take this very ordinary shot with no real planning or preparation, so it shouldn't take you too long to replicate it. Now, being a highly engaged and involved and wanting to pitch in, helping the pastor write his sermon congregation, one of you responded. A child. The rest of us are all too old for this kind of stuff, I guess. And this is how one of them responded. Next slide. When you try to replicate an image, even an ordinary, everyday photograph, you soon discover that it is nigh impossible to do. The light on the photo I took was from an early morning sun, so you can see the long shadow coming off of the model in the top photo, and different light in the bottom. The tree on the top photo is a tall blue spruce of a certain age, and the light is hitting that aged tree in that place, in that relation to the hedge, and the car on the street, and the tree in the background, with that color of blue sky at that time, that morning. And yeah, you can't really replicate that or copy that. The one in the top photo is my daughter Sarah, and she is certainly impossible to replicate. So I take the picture of her and we walk back into the house quickly, and I explain to her why I'm doing this, about the power of individual moments and just how photography lets us see the value of one moment and how much it holds. And so I'm sort of sharing my heart with her, and I said, like, even now, our conversation together, this moment, it's gone after you leave and I go sit down again. This moment is history. And she sort of looks at me and rolls her eyes and goes, "Yeah, Dad," and heads to her room. 50 Photographers You Should Know, that book, starts with this quote. "Photographers are magicians of time. Their cameras are magical instruments with which they arrest the flow of time. They outsmart Chronos, the devouring god, snatching away a fraction of a second and granting it permanence. It may seem paradoxical, but the best in their field succeed in making a greater statement about the subject of a portrait, about the world of objects, about an urban or rural landscape, than an in-depth and long-term study can." And that's true when you think about the famous, iconic photos of our time. This image. An Afghan girl. This image, shot by Dorothea Lange back in the Great Depression down in the southern U.S. This famous image, I forget the name of the photographer, but builders of the Rockefeller Center in New York taking a lunch break. It's an icon, isn't it? This image. Not a great quality photo, right? Yet expressing profound truth. Changes us. You could write essays about Tiananmen Square. But this, and this is a Hubble Space Telescope photo, slightly colorized and enhanced picture of the Eagle Nebula, where they say stars are birthed. To equate a photograph with reality, that book writes, is, as we know, naive. And yet some photographs seem to come very close to what we might call reality. Does the boldly captured fraction of a second perhaps grant us a glimpse behind the mirror into the mechanics of the world? Can a frozen moment provide unexpected insights? Do the mists disperse and the veils lift? Perhaps we can come closer to a truth or encounter a lie that nevertheless opens our eyes for a moment to truth through a photograph. Quiet. Everyone. Shh. Silence before God. Something's afoot in His holy house. He's on the move. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the beginning? Have you not understood since the earth was founded? Hear, you deaf. Look, you blind, and see. You have seen many things, but have paid no attention. Your ears are open, but you hear nothing. Be still, God says. Stop. Rest. Soften your heart. Incline your mind to me. And know that I am God, the God of all creation.